Hey there, aminal fans. Design Viking here again, bringing you another episode of the Sitdown. Like always, we have Chili Penguin with us, Hidden Doggo, and a very spicy habanero. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey there, guys.
All right, and this week we got a few topics to go through. First one, we touched on it about last week a little bit, and it's pretty much movie adaptations, especially coming from video games coming back and everything. What do you guys think? We did see that Mortal Kombat's getting a movie on HBO Max. It's coming out this year.
We also saw that Monster Hunter is having a movie release date. I think it already came out. It should be like December 25th that it came out, more or less.
Yeah, it's I think it already came out. And we've also gone completely full circle. We've got the Indiana Jones into a video game, and now we've got Uncharted
Into a
becoming
movie.
So
July
we've gone,
16th.
we've gone completely full circle, similar genres now, just I guess stealing each other's style about what made them so popular.
Who's going to be Nathan Drake?
Um,
I
think
actually
it's
have-
Tom Holland. I think
I
there's
think so
rumors
too. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I've seen Tom Holland.
Kind of does look like him. But
yeah.
I find it funny that movie adaptations of like games are so popular now, because like it used to be popular back in the day, and then like it became cheese schlocky stuff that nobody really came to watch, so they stopped doing it for a while. What would you guys say is like the movie that brought it? I think it's Sonic, the movie that brought back like video game movies.
I wouldn't say it was Sonic that brought back video game movies. Like video game movies historically have always been pretty bad. Like not just commercially. Like commercially, I feel like maybe they do okay, but in terms of critically, like they never do well. I think the best one recent years that did well critically and commercially was the Pikachu Detective.
Detective Pikachu, I didn't like it. Not gonna lie to you, I'm not a fan.
Just real quick here, notes for that new Uncharted movie. We have Tom Holland starring with Mark Wahlberg and Antonio Banderas on there.
Oh, cool! So we already have a cast for that.
Antonio Banderas is definitely the bad guy. I'm calling
Yeah,
him.
he's got very bad guy energy to him. And we got stills actually this week for the Mortal Kombat movie. And personally, I'm not a fan. It almost looks fan made, and I mean that in like not a good way.
Possible.
Like, because usually fan made, at least they kind of like love the source material. Someone's making this movie like they hate Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Like-
like if you even look at Jax doesn't even look like Jax. Jax looks like Steve Harvey.
He looks like Steve
Family
Harvey.
Feud.
It's just like they didn't get any A-list actors for this. They just got like
These
Whatever they could
randos.
find.
just random people. I'm just not a fan of like
Yeah, it
this
really
type-
feels like it's an economic budget movie.
Yeah.
It's gonna be with HBO Max. There's also a new Resident Evil. I don't know if this is a remake. I think it is. reboot.
Villages
A
is
reboot.
a sequel to Biohazard.
Ooh, Biohazard.
like-
I also was not a fan of when that came out, but that's
Yeah,
a video
Biohazard.
game.
That's a video game, yeah.
I like Biohazard. It's good. Spooky.
Eh.
It really grabs the whole idea of Resident Evil and shifts it a different turn.
Yeah, it's like, what if we didn't give you any weapons to fight these zombies with, and you're trapped in a small house with them, and you can't really escape? And this is the entirety of the video game from now on. Have fun, but then you spend like a majority of the game just like looking for clues, and then you have like some guy chasing you, and you're like, okay, like you're not even scaring me anymore. Like I'm just kind of annoyed because I'm stuck, and I'm just trying to find the next clue so I can move on at this point.
Yeah, I think the puzzle mechanics. I know Resident Evil, like the original series, is very famous for it, but I think it kind of clashes with the horror because at some point you get bored. Now in the movie, I think that'll work wonderfully to like have this like small cramped house where there's like this bunch of different zombies. Because also, I wish Biohazard had way more zombie selection, like different types of undead, because it's basically just the family that lives there and like black blob things.
Yeah, they're like Patient Zero. I think that's what they were going with, like the original, like
zombies.
like
But
zombies.
I think in a movie format, I think this works. I think the Resident Evil adaptation of Biohazard could definitely work as a scary movie where it's slow. You got puzzles going on. You got all sorts of information slowly being given to the audience while the main protagonist, whoever they may be, is figuring out like what it all means. What do the numbers mean, Mace?
Yeah,
Style.
like
That would
I
also
think
be a great a great adaptation in my opinion.
Well,
Black
Netflix
Ops?
is doing something like that. Like Resident Evil is going to have like a Netflix series. So I hope they don't go action with it. It looks like they will be based on this thing right here. Resident Evil is an upcoming action horror streaming television series based on the video game series with the same name, and it'll premiere on Netflix. And it's going to be greenlit for 8-hour long episodes. I don't know. I just want like I feel like all zombie movies lately have just been action.
Schlock?
Well, schlock too, but it's all action. Like, where are like my scary zombie movies?
I think
Like,
it's
what
because zombies aren't scary to people anymore.
I just
since,
think
like, we've had The
scary
Walking
movies as a whole recently haven't really been that
scary?
scary.
Dead.
It's been for a few years now that it's been like that too. I don't remember the last scary movie that I actually thought was horrifying.
So real quick as well, just to add on to there, maybe hype you up a bit. Resident Evil, they actually also have a film scheduled for this year besides the Netflix adaptation, which is like a reboot of that original Resident Evil series that came out a couple years back, and it's meant to be like a origin story set in 1998, and it's marked under survival horror. So
Survival. That's so weird.
I'm
Be in a movie
I'm
title.
pretty excited about that. Like take it back. Like take zombie movies to like I feel what should be its roots, which is like surviving, like outlasting like the zombies,
The
but
infection.
like the infection. But like now it's like how do I outlast them with bullets? Just mow down endless hordes of zombies that they come after me, and
Guns.
and just run to another place and have more zombie like ammunition to just mow them down.
More zombies, more shoots, more undead enemies. What video game adaptation would you want, Chili? Like if you could have any. Although I
Are
probably
you gonna
already
have any? Honestly, I would love to have a Spectrobes adaptation.
Spectros. What is that?
Spectrobes.
Never heard of it.
Spectrobes is an old Disney game.
Aw, that's cute.
So essentially, what Spectrobes is, you play as Lan. Lan, think of it as. All right, it's a bit hard to explain. So the
What
idea
am
of
I missing on
Spectrobes
it?
is
I'll
that
take a look
there's
at it. You said it's Spectrobes.
Spectrobes. Yeah, it's super solid. The last game was actually released for Wii, and after that they haven't.
Oh, so this is like another Monster Catchers. Are you sure it was Wii? I see it for the DS. It's
Yeah,
kind
the
of
last time it came out for the Wii, Spectrobes Origins Beyond or
Also,
something.
Super Evolution is a science fiction video game that was developed by Jupiter. and
This
published
looks like Dragon Quest got mishmashed with
Pokemon,
no
Digimon?
well, with Digimon,
Monster
yeah,
Hunter,
and like some futuristic game too,
Metroid.
like with Metroid. It looks cool.
It was
It
super
does look
fun.
cool.
Well,
So, what would you want from that? Like an adventure, sort of coming of age
Yeah,
story?
like an adventure. Yeah, exactly. Kind of giving out the idea of like why Lan was chosen to go on this specific mission and why he was him only. There's not really others who do it either. So I'd like them to go a little bit in depth on that, more on his background and what led to him to become part of the space police, whatever it is.
The Space Force.
what would you want Hidden Dogo for like a video game movie turned, video game turned movie?
Video game turned movie. I want to say Halo or Call of
Ooh.
Duty, but I feel like Call of Duty is already like Saving Private Ryan. Like I don't know how much more you can do than that.
Yeah, in
So
that
I'm gonna
genre.
say Halo. It's like I remember like back in the day there was this YouTube video of like this like fan made Halo like trailer and it looked so good and I was like, can we just where's Bungie? Somebody needs to hire these people or 343 now or Microsoft, any of the big companies. Where are they? Why are they not hiring these people? They clearly love the game. They know what it's about and they would do a good job at it. I feel like a lot of video game companies need to start hiring people that actually care about the source material.
bringing it back around to the movies, on HBO Max, we got a whole lineup, a whole commercial with like different movies. So they released more film of Godzilla vs King Kong, and there was a couple other movies. Hold on, I had a list here.
Yeah, we got Space Jam.
Oh yeah,
else
Space
we
Jam with
got?
LeBron James. We got the Suicide Squad coming out.
Suicide Squad 2 or a reboot?
It's called the Suicide Squad, so I believe it's a reboot.
No, it's a sequel.
It's a sequel. Are they
Yeah.
keeping like Margot Robbie and
Yes,
Will
it's they're
Smith?
no, Will Smith, I think they're swapping out Deadshot for yeah, they're swapping him out.
Why?
I
Why
guess
not?
he just didn't wanna do it.
He's like, oh no, the movie did so bad the first time. Get me
Uh,
out. Get me
critically, yes.
out.
Critically, yes, but I'll just have people know, Marvel versus DC fans out there, I'll just have you know that DC still holds the only 2, Oscar awards, uh, for superhero movies. So,
Are they both from Christopher Nolan's Batman
no,
trilogy?
one is actually from Suicide Squad. Technically, Suicide Squad is an Oscar-winning film, for makeup, but still, winning is winning. And one is obviously for The Dark Knight for Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker.
Yeah, that movie is great. Go watch it now. Go rewatch it. It's fantastic. There's gonna be a Matrix 4.
Yes, there's a Matrix 4 coming out with Keanu Reeves reprising his role as Neo.
I don't know how I feel about that. Didn't he die? Doesn't he like die at the end of Resident Evil? Not Resident Evil. The Matrix 3 or Matrix Reloaded or Revolution or whichever one comes as 3.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
so
one of the two.
I don't know. I actually never finished the whole Matrix. I actually
No,
just
he
stopped
died.
watching after the first movie.
At,
All right.
at the end, he like sacrifices himself to like fulfill his like Jesus role in the movie, and he's like one with the Matrix, and the Matrix is like he was the one singularity, and like it fixes itself, and he's the first one to ever do that, which is part of why he's called the One, which is an anagram for Neo.
I never realized that.
But the directors are coming back. The Wachowski sisters now.
Yeah.
Coming back to direct, which I mean is good, but I mean Matrix 2 and 3 are not as good as Matrix 1.
Yeah, I only watched Matrix 1 because I just never really cared for the other two. I don't know.
Did you ever watch the Matrix movies, Chili?
No, I actually they don't get my
They don't
attention.
mesh with you?
Nope, not really.
I like the first one. It's just cool. Like,
That scene where he like sees like the numbers in the Matrix, and like I think it's Mr. Smith is like punching him or whatever, and he just like blocks him with one hand as he looks at his other hand.
like when he that moment where he like figures it all out. Yeah, that's
when it all connects. That's one of the coolest movie moments like ever.
Yeah.
That's just cool.
I mean, seeing the Matrix 4 is going to be interesting because like now you're bringing like the coolness of like the Matrix with like current generation of like special effects. Like the movie should look
fantastic,
insane. Like it sucks that like the first Matrix movie was stuck in the early 2000s, and like in terms of like a cinematography and like stylistic choice, like I like how it looks, but in terms of special effects, like there's just so much left to be desired because it's honestly a product of its time.
I'm also being informed by Design Viking that Waifu is coming back. Trinity is coming back. I wonder if she's like one of those women in Hollywood that like never aged. Like, gosh, who was the girl from Underworld? Does anyone know the name of the girl from Underworld? And Mia Jokovic, I think, is the name of the girl from Resident Evil. They just don't age. Those two women just don't age. Period. They've been like straight up. They look the same.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, Kate
Is that
Beckinsale.
the one from Underworld design?
Yes, that's the Underworld one.
They just don't age. I don't know if like they've dropped in the Fountain of Youth or something.
Yeah. Oh, looping back to Suicide Squad 2. So Deadshot's not in the movie at all. It's not that Will Smith just replaced the Deadshot character, or like Idris Elba didn't replace Will Smith as Deadshot character. He's just Deadshot's not in it, and Idris Elba was replacing him as Bloodsport. Yeah.
Is that an original character from this movie?
Yeah, he is, but he's like one of those like.
Yeah, because I had never heard of a character named Bloodsport.
Like niche, like kind of, I don't know, niche villains. Like he shows up in a Superman issue back in 1987. Like,
oh, that's cool though. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
At least it's from the source material. It's just like way back in the day.
Yeah, he's like come in like every now and then through like some sort of like media at some point. It looks like he's some sort of like
he's a
military.
He's like a write-in Bloodsport. Apparently, they just used him in several different DC comics just to shoehorn in a fictional like supervillain of some sort. They would put in Bloodsport, and he has different like people playing him throughout the comic series.
Yeah, he's been doing like used as a different alias, but it looks like Idris Elba's probably gonna play this one that like was some sort of war veteran called Robert DeBoy or something like that,
I mean,
or
I
Alex
think
Trent. I don't know.
I think he's a fantastic actor. So if
Oh yeah,
anyone, well, I mean, to be fair, Will Smith's great too. Will Smith's a
yeah.
good actor too.
But
But
I like Idris Elba. Just throw Idris Elba in everything. Put Idris Elba in the next James Bond series. Like he's British. Like boom,
the
that's all
next
you need.
one,
Like that'd be cool. Because he's like
Idris Elba is
he's
Nathan
got like
Drake.
that smoothness, like
Yeah, that
Martian
Bond
actor.
really needs that charm.
Moving
Uh,
back to the movies, we also have the Mortal Kombat movie that's being remade. We saw some stills and they don't look that great. The CGI. Your guys' thoughts?
Trash. Chili, what do you think about the new Mortal Kombat movie? Like,
As I said earlier, I just think it's not something that's necessary. I think they should have left it alone and not touched it. Um, I just don't see the reason why they'd be making another movie.
who do you think? Do you think if they change the main protagonist from like Liu Kang or Johnny Cage, those are probably gonna be the two main protagonists, or like most likely the main protagonist? Um, who do you think would be a better main protagonist, or who you
Scorpion.
want the main
Scorpion.
protagonist? Scorpion, Porpian.
Scorpion easily should be the main protagonist of the entire Mortal Kombat series. Like
An
you
Ed Boon fanboy in the house.
like okay, not just because personally I'm a Sub-Zero fan, but the
I
way
like
the way they write Scorpion in the games and like these last couple of games where he's like stops being like this like being of hate and he just is trying to rebuild his clan because they got killed out and like that would be I feel like a way cooler story than like hey Johnny Cage like
Johnny
you know, you
Cage here.
Johnny
We're
Cage
out here filming a Hollywood movie. Oh no, it's the portal to Outworld. Who are these strange, mysterious fighters? Will Johnny Cage fight them? Find out next time. Type stuff.
yeah like just instead of like put Johnny Cage in there somehow but like he feels so shoehorned into the plot sometimes that it's just like I'd rather have like
Anyone
it
else?
just be like Scorpion like
Just to be about Scorpion versus Sub-Zero type stuff.
yeah, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, and then like there's a whole
That
misunderstanding
type of
there.
beat.
Like, well, yeah, you could have like Sub-Zero's brother, the one who actually kills,
Not Tundra, Bihan.
yeah, who actually
Bihan.
kills all of Scorpion's clan. Like that would be a cool thing. And then obviously you got to throw in the fate of the world in there at some point because that's what's Mortal Kombat if not a fate in the world.
Well, just a tournament, just a tourney.
Just a tournament of fisticuffs to decide the fate of the world. You know, the usual.
All right, so moving along here, we do have an announcement as well for a new Digimon game that's coming out. This one's for you, Chili. I know this is your type of game. On the other side of it, for Pokemon, we also have news on Twitter of Nintendo cracking down on ROMs and altered save games and all that. So, your thoughts?
My thoughts? Well, first, specifically on Nintendo cracking down on saves and Hackmon, for lack of a better term. I kind of agree with the crackdown on the hack ROM per se. It kind of sucks, as like I put a lot of time into my breeding for my competitive teams, but then we have people who actually just go on their phone, two little clicks, send it over to the Wi-Fi, boom, mystery gift, Hackmon, right into game. No time, no nothing, just straight. 31 IVs down, perfect stats, everything you want, boom, in the game. Now, that takes a minute. Obviously, Nintendo has, done things to make breeding faster, but you still put work into it and it feels more like yours, especially you want that shiny that you want. Imagine you work all these years for the shiny, you spend a whole day trying to get a shiny, whole day, sometimes 3 days, and then you have this one guy who comes out and puts, "Oh, I got this off of this app," kind of like a spit in the face.
So you find it disrespectful.
It's a disrespect, yes.
So you agree in the full crackdown from Nintendo? Is it coming from or Game Freak?
I agree with the crackdown towards the hacked Pokemon, like inside the Sword and Shield. Now, as for the ROM hack crackdown, I mean, you have a creative community who took your games and wants to make them to be at their peak at their peak of their imagination. Now, cracking down on your community's imagination is kind of like a slap to the face to your community in a whole.
In a way. Habanero, what do you think?
Uh, like here's my thing. I kind of agree with like that. Yeah, it sucks that like you're trying to put this effort to this game, and then somebody who just like didn't put any effort at all has the same competitive team as you do, and like that should be dealt with. But like I feel in terms of people like creating their own ROMs and like hack stuff, it's like it's the
Unnecessary.
ultimate. It's like the ultimate love letter almost to Pokemon in this like fantasy type of way. Like they fantasize like, man, I wish Pokemon was like this. Pokemon really hasn't been giving me what I've been wanting lately, so I want to play something else like Pokemon. But really, there's really only one Pokemon. There's like these other stuff that you have like your Temtem, your Lexamons, like you got stuff like that. But like really, like there's one Pokemon. Like you want to play a good Pokemon game, but Nintendo doesn't want to make it. So you're like, fine, they ain't no
Yes.
style. I'll do it myself.
Exactly. Go looking elsewhere. I can tell. I can't tell you how many times. Like it's more than I can. More fingers than I have on my hands. I've gone on the internet looking up Pokemon-like game, Pokemon-esque game, monster hatching games, monster taming games, and it all always just recirculates back to one focal point being Pokemon.
Yeah. Like you want to play a game like Pokemon, but not like it either. Like I want to play another Pokemon Coliseum, but Nintendo's like, no, we don't want to make good games here. Like, like we're just gonna
We only make garbage here.
we're just gonna give you a stripped down, gutted game, and then you're gonna buy it because it's really the king of the market, and you got nowhere else to go. Like, so players saw that and they're like, no, we're gonna make our own Pokemon game, and Nintendo's like, I'll raise you another one. No, you're not. We're gonna make it so that you can only come here to play Pokemon games. And I don't know, just doesn't feel
It's the sad reality that Nintendo has the monopoly on the whole genre.
true.
I think it's more than just a monopoly, though. It becomes more of like this like they're the OG, so everyone kind of copies them until somebody does their games better. Until someone flat out just does everything they do better, they're gonna be the king of the market. It's like for 2D scrollers, it was Mario. Mario was like Super Mario Brothers was like the greatest 2D scroller of all time.
Yeah.
And it took going to the 3D space to finally like kind of boot Mario out of King of Kings seat. So it would either have to be that Monster Hunting games kind of change to a different genre, a different style, or somebody has to come in and do it better than Nintendo does, or Game Freak, I guess.
And in my opinion, there's a company who does it way better than the Game Freak can, and that's actually Bandai.
Oh, you're crazy.
I honestly think Digimon is superior to Pokemon. Reason being, I actually feel like I have more control of like. Okay, so Pokemon have their personalities, yes, but they turn into one. They have one singular line. At least in Digimon, I know if I have this one thing, this one little mon, it has endless possibilities of what it could become. Be it different special evolution, be it Jagras evolution, be it regular evolution line. I have options, which is something that Nintendo hasn't, which the Pokemon company, my bad, hasn't really tried to expand on.
I mean, they have different evolutions like Gallade versus Gardevoir,
I
Froslass.
mean, yeah, but it's just not the same degree.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, versus having 10 different 10 different evolutions that's hyper complex and each have a different way of doing it. I mean, Eevee is the only Pokemon that's kind of like that.
which is what I want to see more of from the Pokemon series.
I feel like it would step on the toes of like Eevee's gimmick and Eevee's like idea, where it's like he's the only Pokemon that kind of does that.
I mean, yeah, but you can still have it as a unique thing. But like, I just feel like my reason being for Digimon also being more superior is that the developers, people been bashing Survive for years. Survive was supposed to be released in 2019, but Bandai keeps pushing it back. It was pushed back to 2021. Reason being, they want the game to be good.
Pokemon would never.
They didn't want to release it at the state it was because they knew they were gonna get backlash if they did. So they're like, you know what, guys, give us a year or two, and we'll release it.
I
The
think
price
Pokemon
tag's
would
gonna be
never.
$30.
Yeah, I don't think Pokemon would ever like delay a game. I think they would just push out whatever it is because at the end of the day, I think people are just gonna buy it. Like Pokemon is synonymous with like monster catching games. Like it's just
Or money.
like just
Pokemon equal money.
like here, perfect example. Like Pokemon has good concepts and then doesn't capitalize off them. The dungeon ones for Pokemon.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon?
Yeah, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, I love it, and they never really capitalized it. They remade it for the Switch, and instead of putting new Pokemon in it, they just made it pretty looking. They didn't expand any of the mechanics. They didn't add any new Pokemon. Even since then, we've had, I don't know, like 600 new Pokemon since then, probably more.
All they really did with the new in DX, all they did was add the evolutions to the Pokemon that were already in the game that didn't have them before. Example, Magmortar, Electivire, Gliscor, all those from Sinnoh.
Right.
Arguably the best one.
Also on top of that, they did add the Mega Evolutions. But the Mega Evolution in DX works extremely weird. The Mega Evolution isn't permanent; it's only in that dungeon.
Yeah, I can imagine you also wreck face whenever you mega.
Yeah, you can blow up the walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Unlimited power.
Exactly.
But
I feel-
I just feel like the Digimon like franchise, like, they aren't afraid. They'll take risks. They'll make they'll
do.
make a bad game, but they'll make it. Like Pokemon is just like, we won't make a bad game, but we're not gonna make a good one either. We'll just make a game.
It's
Like,
mediocre.
we'll just make a new gen.
Bandai
it.
had took 2006 is when Dusk was released. Digimon Dusk and Dawn. So around that's 2006, I believe. It took them a while to release another game. It actually took them almost 6 or 7 years, but that's because they were working on Digimon Next Order. Digimon Next Order is beautiful. It's such a beautiful game. Like the environment is pretty. The way your Digimon interact with the environment, the way they interact with each other, because you only have two at a time now, because you have to raise them. The way they interact with the enemies, even training a Digimon, it's so unique, and it's something I'd really like to see more of. The Digimon World Series is probably one of my favorite series, but I really it's just so good, and really literally it's.
I think Digimon, like me personally, I've never played a Digimon game. I've only seen the Digimon anime as a child. It was cool to watch. I just think that translating those exact mechanics to Pokemon isn't what Pokemon needs. Pokemon needs more time in the oven to give me a good story. Needs to be
Track.
long.
Yep.
It needs to increase its difficulty by either implementing a difficulty system that will in some way make the enemy trainers have better Pokemon or different Pokemon or actual strategies, which the gameplay does allow for, like confusion hacks, paralysis hacks, sleep hacks, all that good juicy stuff, toxicking your opponent, tech stall, sashes, choice bands, all that sort of thing. You could have that be in a harder difficulty for experienced or veteran Pokemon players. I don't think translating exactly Digimon's
No,
mechanics.
I'm not saying you need to translate the mechanics in the game. I'm just saying what I feel is what Digimon has that's superior to Pokemon. So even Digimon's battle system is more in depth than Pokemon is, ironically.
That's a spicy meatball right there.
Ironically, it is.
Pokemon's got a pretty in-depth battle system.
Yeah, I think Pokemon is like Chess 2, like it's Chess 2. It's the sequel to Chess that no one ever thought that it would be in the form of Pokemon, but I think it is to like a certain extent. Like I think it's like heavy strategies in terms of competitive.
Yeah, it's very big ring.
Yeah, in terms of competitive Pokemon, yeah, strategy is like pretty intense, but in terms of story,
AI,
like
fall asleep at the wheel.
just bash it with my strongest move every time.
Digimon's battle system actually has Pokemon-esque Pokemon-esque hints in it, but it's actually not. It's more actually like Final Fantasies.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Very controversial opinion. I don't like Final Fantasy's battle system. But maybe it's because I played Final Fantasy, I think like 7 or 8 when I was a kid, and I was just
that could definitely be one.
I was like 8 or 10, and I was just like, "This is the hardest game in the world." It's
I honestly think, as for your personality, Dogo, I honestly think you would actually enjoy Cyber Sleuth.
Cyber Sleuth.
Digimon Cyber Sleuth. You would enjoy it.
Oh, I was confused. I was like, Cyber Sleuth. Are we talking about Cyberpunk?
It's a noir. No, not Sly Cooper. No, it's so the most recent Digimon game was Cyber Sleuth 1 and Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. So it's a noir-esque Digimon game. Like even the side quests, even the main quests, they're all super gritty. They're like in depth. Now, the one thing I will tell you is that Digimon is not afraid to go PG-13 and 17.
All right, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and end this episode of the Sit Down. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. Make sure to comment below on any topics you guys want to hear about, and we'll be back next week. Um, say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Adios, amigos.